Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Kings of Lethal. Sorry if I sound a little under the weather. I'm dealing with some nasal congestion, got a bit of a head cold right now. But I wanted to bring to your guys' attention on, if you guys haven't seen it yet, we just got three of the new legendary creatures from New Capenna were just announced today. Three of the heads of the houses. The ones we didn't get were the dragon. I forget. I think that's the Riveteers and the other one. We got three of them, three of the five. So we're going to go ahead and talk about them. We're going to talk about Rafine, Scheming Seer, Jetmere, Nexus of Rebels, and Lord Zander the Collector. My personal favorite of the three so far. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys. So the first one we're going to talk about here is going to be Rafine, Scheming Seer. He is a white, blue, black, so Esper for a 1/4 legendary creature Sphinx Demon. He's got flying in Ward 1, and his ability is whenever you attack target attacking creature, connives X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Draw, and then connives X is draw X cards, then discard X cards, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature for each non-land card discarded this way. So this card is actually a kind of a cool card in my opinion. It's got a really lot of really cool things that it can do with its colors. I'm thinking what they're trying to do here is trying to get like a lot of low mana cost creatures into your graveyard for you to possibly recur with blue, black, and white. Really fun, interesting commander here. Whenever you attack again, so the effect is whenever you attack, target attacking creature connives X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. So if you attack with three creatures, you're going to connive X. So you're going to draw three cards and discard three cards, and then put a +1/+1 counter on that creature for each non-land card discarded this way. Seems like a really interesting commander to build around. I'm excited to see what people can do with it. It's definitely one of my favorite ones so far. Well, I mean, there's only the three that have been announced, but definitely a really interesting one to see for sure. All right, guys, and the next one is going to be Jetmere, Nexus of Rebels. One red, green, white, so one in Naya, for a 5/4 legendary creature, Cat Demon. This one seems real interesting because with these colors, you can make your board wide pretty quick. This one seems to be a real interesting one here. So, creatures you control get +1/+0 and have vigilance as long as you control three or more creatures. Pretty easy. Excuse me. Creatures you control also get +1/+0 and have trample as long as you control six or more creatures. Pretty difficult, but again, with these colors, you can create a lot of tokens really quick. And then the last one here is creatures you control also get +1/+0 and have double strike as long as you control 9 or more creatures. So with these colors, obviously, it wants you to go wide. This commander wants you to go wide. All your creatures are going to get, if you have 9 or more creatures, they're all going to get +3/+0. And then if you have 9 or more, they're going to get vigilance, trample, and double strike. Double strike and trample is nasty to begin with. And then just having vigilance so they don't tap when you have to attack with them, which means they get to stand up and be blockers on your turn or on your opponent's turns. Another thing I was talking to my buddy about with this one is just populating with this commander, playing cards that let you, and you pretty much you create a token and then create like doubling season. I forget what the white enchantment is, but it's pretty much like whenever you cast a spell, you can populate, which means you create a copy of a token that you already have. Even running like elf tribal with this guy as your commander. I mean, I know he's not an elf, but I mean they create tokens, like crazy. This thing it's going to be a real fun commander to see. This is definitely one that when you see it, you're going to want to get rid of it. Just because if your opponents make a wide board, good luck. All right, guys, and the last one here for today that's been announced so far is my favorite of the three. Lord Zander, the Collector. 7, so he's going to cost 4. A blue, a black, and a red, which I believe is Grixis, if I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, please go ahead and put it in the comments below. So 7 mana for a 6/6 legendary creature, vampire, demon, noble. This is right up my alley. This is just a salt-bearing commander. So what he does is when he enters the battlefield, target opponent discards half the cards in their hand rounded down. When he attacks, a defending player mills half their library rounded down. And then when he dies, target opponent sacrifices half the non-land permanents they control rounded down. This guy just seems busted, like just off the get-go. Blue, black, red. Obviously, there's ways to wheel in those colors. That's one of the big things that these colors do. Tons of ways to sacrifice. But my favorite thing about this guy is his ETB, the first one there. Just blinking. So Conjurer's Closet. Even creating like copy doubles. Even though those copies are going to die, which you're going to get 2 effects from. So, cards that create copies of him. So I believe it's called Twin Flame. It's like an enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you copy that creature. And then, if obviously Legendary Clause will then apply, and he would sacrifice that creature. I was even thinking, like on my way home, like thinking about this card. You put something in there with blue. You put like Mirror Box or Sakashima of 1,000 Voices, Sword of the Animus. Just wait. You put it on him. Make infinite copies of him. Have sack outlets like Viscera Seer. So then you sacrifice a copy of him. Scry 1, and when you sacrifice him, when he dies, target opponent is going to sacrifice half the non-land permanents they control. And then if you have a whole bunch of them, if all of them are attacking, your opponents are going to be milling half their libraries round down for each one. So if 2 of them are attacking an opponent, if you happen to have 2 Lord Zanders and they're attacking an opponent, that first one's going to trigger, so that they'll mill half their deck. Let's say they got 80, they'll mill down to 40 because it's rounded down. And then if they have the 40, that second one will trigger that and knock that down to 20. So they won't mill their whole deck with the 2 attacking. But with blue, you do have access to Brewvac and other mill cards like that. I believe it's Frayed Sanity, which would mill it. Like if just the one hits and you got Brewvac or Frayed Sanity out, that opponent's going to deck out and they have nothing to do. He seems, again, this is like right up my alley. It's like Salt Lord galore with this guy. This is probably going to be one that you guys will be seeing a deck tech made of for sure from me. So to my friends that are watching this, I play with on a regular, I do apologize. Just know I'm already thinking about this guy. All right, guys. So that was the 3 new legendary creatures from New Capenna. I hope you guys liked a little bit of information that I talked about. As you guys can tell, I'm really excited about Lord Zander. The other 2, not so much. I do like both of them. The Sphinx seems like somebody who would be really fun to build off of. Has a really interesting mechanic about it. I do like it's a Sphinx demon too, which is pretty interesting. And I like the fact that there's demons now in blue, black, and white. I think it's really cool. I'm interested to see furthermore on what we get from that that group or that guild or house. Excuse me, guys. The second one was the Naya one. The Jetmere. He seems really fun. If you like token builds, he's going to be a commander that you're going to love building. I already know my buddy Sonny from Pay the One. I'm pretty sure his gears are already turning. He used to run I forget the guy's name. I think it was I forget his name. He made a bunch of rhinos, like just a token deck, and that thing was just insane. One of my favorite decks that he used to play with. I kind of miss it. I wish he'd bring it back, but this commander seems like a definite one that I could see him playing. And then my personal favorite, Lord Zander. The art alone is something that I'm interested in. I love his art. But then reading his effect, you will be seeing a a deck tech, my personal deck tech of him when the deck comes out. The funny part was actually just the other day, I traded a bunch of cards that, like Deadeye Navigator to my brother. No big deal. I'll be getting them back here soon if I have to go buy them again. But, hey, that's part of the game, right? Trade them away, go buy new stuff, build decks, have fun. That's my favorite part about the game. But thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys had a good time watching these cards and like hearing about my personal take on the cards. And I hope to see you guys next time. Hit that like button, hit that bell, leave a comment in the comment section below. And as always, stay lethal.